Hello, good morning. Sad Sangat Astrology here. It is Sunday, November the 10th. It is 9:30 a.m. Central Time. And I am here to speak about the full moon. But in the context of the whole lunar cycle, which started with the new moon in Scorpio. So the full moon happens November 15th, 2024, obviously, at 24 degrees of Taurus Scorpio. Of course, the sun is in Scorpio and the moon is in Taurus. So the sun is reflecting the light that is let's say, associated with the archetype of Scorpio, projecting that light onto the moon in Taurus. And we will see the implications. I will talk about in general for everyone. And also I will compare it to the Sibley chart of the United States. So you can see what is the context that we are living through during this moon cycle that started in Scorpio. So a couple of planets are out of bounds, including the moon. The next day after the full moon, the moon will be out of bounds. Mercury is already out of bounds until December, and Venus will be out of bounds starting pretty soon. We have events that are out of sorts, out of the norm, let's say. And if you add that the moon will be conjunct Uranus in Taurus, then this could be a very surprising full moon, shedding light on things that we hadn't been able to see before, Scorpio. And now we are able to finally see what is going on, what is happening. Revelations may coming up, and we will take a look at the chart in order to analyze this information that the moon is giving us. So in order to get started, since I couldn't, I was moving and unpacking and getting settled in my own house here in Texas. So I was not able to do the new moon video, but here's the chart, and you probably have had that information already from other astrologers probably. But it is very interesting that during the Scorpio new moon, Mercury was in Scorpio together with the sun and the moon, which were at 9 degrees of Scorpio, and the both rulers of Scorpio, the traditional ruler Mars and the modern ruler Pluto, were in exact opposition in Cancer, Mars in Cancer, Pluto in Capricorn. So there was a very tense circumstances, including it was Juno, the asteroid Juno, that represents fidelity, that represents the loyalty of relationships in Libra, was perfectly square Mars and Pluto. So this implies that there was an urgency for loyalty, affinity for establishing a harmony and peace, and it was this tension, the Mars in Cancer protecting what is making me feel comfortable and protected and sheltered and cozy in my environment. And this Pluto in Capricorn showing the ugly face of the systems, the social systems that people have created in order to feel secure and safe in society. So the agreements, Capricorns are the structures, the agreements that that society makes in order to establish structures that will help us live in relative security together, right? So this is a very, very strong T-square that presented so many challenges, especially considering the elections in the United States. And we have seen the implications of this configuration. And not only that, but Mercury was in opposition to Uranus, anticipating already surprises, that the surprises that we will unveil, be discovered, and when the light of the moon illuminates this Uranus in conjunction with the fixed star Algol in Taurus. So we will talk about all of that. And not only that, but Venus in Sagittarius was at the time of the new moon in applying to opposing Jupiter in Gemini. So we have this Venus focused on the global, the global values, the values that transcend our little environment, and we were focused on wisdom, on focusing on morality. Venus in Sagittarius is also an explorer of new horizons, of widened perspectives, especially in opposition with Jupiter. So we will see how this has evolved throughout the cycle, the moon cycle. So if you like my videos and the material that I share with you, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel, support me because that helps me and helps you receive more information in the future. Valid information, very well researched and well supported information for you to consider. So here is the full moon chart of November 15. But before I go into that, I will let you know that I have presence in social media, but most important, you have my email address where you can write to me with your personal information, date of birth, time of birth, place of birth, in order for you to have your personal interview with me, analyzing how all these transits and these configurations are affecting you personally. So I'm going to talk in this video in general, but you can have your own personal report in order to find out how this affects you. So, and here you have my contact for the social media. I am on Instagram, on Tumblr, MeWe, Facebook, I have a group, Satsang at Astrology, on Facebook where you can participate. Of course, this is my YouTube channel, and I have a blog that I write occasionally with important events, satsang at astrology.blogspot.com, where I recently published an article regarding the upcoming switch of the nodal axis into the axis of Pisces Virgo. Will be another important shift in energy that we will experience. Now I will go back to something I wanted to let you know is this sextile between Uranus and Neptune that will play a role in this full moon, since the moon is conjunct Uranus and in sextile pretty soon after, in sextile with Neptune. So sit back and relax, and I will tell you all about. So first thing that I need to tell you about this full moon is something that oftentimes is overlooked, and is that the moon will be so close to the earth that it will be big. It will look big. The light will be shining big and really close, up close. When you have picture that is up close and you can see, for example, if it is the face, you can see the hair on the cheeks of the picture on the person, and you see all the little small the pores of the skin. Well, this is the kind of light that we will receive. We will have the truth on your face, in front of your nose. So this is the symbolism of this moon that will be so close to the earth. It will be a crisis moon, meaning that whatever is revealed, whatever appears in this light will be huge. And the next day, on the 16th, the moon goes out of bounds. Out of bounds, I explained in previous videos what it is, an out of bound planet. And it goes out of bounds from the 16th of November to the 20th. So we have 4 or 5 days. The moon is behaving in a critical way, and I will describe it immediately. So, as a consequence of this revelation, imagine the moon conjunct Uranus, and is conjunct also the fixed star Algol. So, we may lose our head figuratively. Some may, in the world, who knows, may lose their head physically, who knows, or maybe organizations and institutions may lose their head, like their main authority may fall down from its position. That's another way of interpreting this fixed star. So, and it will be surprising. It will be really someone who loses the authority and their position, and it will be important for the consequences will be significant. For example, as I said, the following days, the moon will be out of bounds, and this means that people will feel, the moon, will feel this need, this profound need for freedom, for liberation, and this good emotional intelligence that comes from learning the truth. And also this excellent intuition, which you can trust, the ability to inspire other people with this new revelations. It gives you a way to understand yourself and others better. It can help you keep the sense of consciousness, the sense of being aware of things, and but on the negative side, because this out of bound moon can really go awkward as well. It could be habits that are destructive. It could be strange feelings and intuitions that are difficult to understand and convey. And also disregard for the rules, throwing out the window the rules, the conventions and the values. Taurus, especially when the moon a few hours later conjuncts exactly Uranus. So, and it could be lack of sympathy for other people and some behavior that could be destructive, mood swings. So emotionally, this full moon could be a roller coaster, actually. Talking about this moon is this full moon will be ruled again, the sun by Mars and Pluto, and the moon by Venus. And if we start by the ruler of the full moon is Venus, Venus is in Capricorn. Venus is kind of comfortable in Capricorn. Just because she lacks this rock stability in relationships and this anchor for her desires, her attraction, because Venus rules whatever we like, we feel attracted to. And in this case, we want this stability. We are eager for this anchor that we need. However, the moon pretty soon, like hours later, and I can't even tell you when exactly, Venus will square the nodes, and it's the 16 at 5 a.m. Central Time. So Venus will square the nodes, which means that it's called the bands of an oscillation point. It is the point where things have to change direction. So you are not in the south node, you are not in the north, but there is this challenge for you to change directions from what you've been doing in the south node. In this case, you are walking away from the south node and going towards the north node. And what this means is that so far Venus is uh, the ruler of the South Node as well, right? And if you remember, we had several eclipses with the South Node, at least a couple, that really drained out all possibilities of compromise, of agreements, of peace and harmony. One of them was actually the start of the war in Gaza. And so with these eclipses and this nodal axis in Aries Libra, we have walked away from peace, in summary. We people in the world doesn't want to compromise in general. Whatever your personal house in Libra is, you have been losing there because the South Node is like a drain. If it was your second house, you have been losing money big time. If it is your third house, you have been not communicating too much or losing some of the aspects of your communication and etc. Every house has been losing things where Libra is. So now this Venus is looking for strong values that will support going to the North Node in Aries, which is independence, assertiveness, even aggression, and me first, me second, and last as well. Um, the Aries North Node encourage people to go for it. It's ruled again by Mars. In this case, the North Node is ruled by Mars. So we have Mars in Leo, like bombastic actions, and still in opposition with Pluto, even though the orb is already 3-4 degrees, but it's still considered out of sign opposition. It's kind of weaker than before, but it's still there. So there are power struggles in order for us to seek this independence, this individuality and freedom. I'm reading my notes that I prepared for you. This could continue the antagonism, intensify the war, intensify the manipulation of powers. It's like a duel, Mars opposite Pluto is like a duel. It's to death. Either you kill or you are killed, in figurative terms, right? Either you win or you are defeated, completely out of the picture. So, if you remember prior to this full moon, in fact, at the quarter moon, the waxing quarter moon, around November the 9th, the Venus was at the end of Sag over here in square with Neptune. So we have already experienced a disillusion of our values, our moral Sagittarius values, Venus. There was a disillusionment. It was a dissolution of values as well, of moral values. And it could have been a financial deception. So this is very important because I will show you how the full moon it shows up in the Sibley chart for the United States. Now, this full moon in Taurus will certainly shed light on unexpected changes, totally out of the blue surprises, and related to the material reality, especially finances. And I think the stock market, that's why I was showing the bull, the bull from the stock market in New York because the financial markets will tumble. It will be either a breakthrough or a breakdown or a breakup or several breakups regarding resources, finances, values, the stock market, and such. I think things will be radical once the truth, some kind of truth, comes very, very bright and big. So now, if you give me a minute, I'm gonna bring out the Sibley chart with this transit and show you how it is related to the situation in the United States. So here we are. It's very interesting because the new moon was in the 12th house. The 12th house is generally things that we don't see. So there was a new moon that started things that we don't really know what was started. It was a secret. It was something hidden behind the scenes. We really don't know what was the seed that was planted on November the 1st. And November the 1st was the new moon. We couldn't see the moon, right? Because it's all blocked by the sun rays, and plus, so the moon was hidden, and plus we have the Scorpio sign. The Scorpio sign, imagine a scorpion in its nest. First of all, scorpions live together in groups like colonies in their nest. So it's not just one scorpion, it's many. And the nest is usually a dark place. It's a place where they attract their prey and they trap it, and imagine several scorpions attacking that prey. So this is to symbolize that something secret was happening that will little by little by little it was kind of timidly showing up at the quarter waxing moon. And with this full moon, I think the revelations will be really big in the area of the economy. Because the sixth house of the Sibley chart is the economy outlook of a country, and the sun is still in the 12th house. So the sun is illuminating those secrets that were started, those things that were hidden. So we really didn't know what it was, but now the light is projecting on this huge moon that on top of it is conjunct Uranus. So we will certainly receive revelations, things that will surprise us and will completely change of direction. We will feel this need for liberation and for who knows what happens, because with Uranus, nothing that we really can forecast will happen. It will be completely different. But we can count on the symbolism of Taurus. Taurus is finances. The sixth house is the economy outlook, and is ruled by Venus, and Venus is in the second house of the treasury, of the country's assets and resources. So we can certainly know that something about these subjects will be revealed. Now, Mercury, interesting enough, has been transiting the ascendant of the chart. So there's here a lot of talk, but if you think about it, Mercury is the ruler of the seventh house, and the seventh house is the opposing, the enemies or the alliances, the partners, right? The financial partners, for example. And having the ruler of the seven in the first, especially so close to the ascendant, it may mean that those partners are here kind of making decisions or telling the country, because the ascendant is the way that the country presents itself, right? So it's uh, mingled uh, the partners, for example, or even the open enemies, directing the direction of the country. Uh, and not only that, but we have an applying opposition to Jupiter. So there is a lot, there is an increase, an expansion of either partners or enemies, because Jupiter is has been in conjunction with Mars here, and actually Jupiter was stationary on top of Mars. So here we have an increase of either partners or enemies. So, and I am more inclined with the second option than the first one, but we will see when Jupiter comes back, conjoin Mars. We need to observe and see what happens. So another important consideration, and not only this, Venus is in the second house uh, of assets and the treasury, but is square the axis of midheaven and inner or I see, but also it is squaring the nodes, the transiting nodes, as I explained before. So we have the south node on the midheaven. So the reputation of the country, and even the midheaven also represents the maximum authority or the head of the state, the presidency, and it has the south node on the midheaven, and even applying to it, because now it is at 6 degrees and it's applying to conjunct the midheaven. So that may indicate that the maximum authority is going out, because it is a drain, and that will be close to the end of the year, uh, because this is the true nose, and when 2025, let me see the ephemeris here. So yeah. By the 1st of January, the true node, north node, will be a 0. So I think a few days before, in December, the end of December, we will have the south node, sorry, actually from the 23 to the 31st of December, we'll have the south node exactly on the midheaven. So I have predicted that President Biden would not end his presidency. That was prior to his inauguration. And a video that I did, it was the moon cycle for that. It's an old video, but I predicted that. So I don't know. Maybe he moves out of the office or something by the end of December. But definitely there is an energy leaving from the midheaven. Something is leaving, something is going out in the midheaven. And it could be also the party, the ruling party, because the north node in the opposite side, it is indicating the rise of the opposite party. So that's one of the considerations, but it's interesting that the north node is on top of the midheaven. The south node on top of the midheaven. So, as I said, this full moon will give news surprises. Remember, it's going to be out of bounds immediately after. The the sixth house is the economic outlook. Also, it represents civil services of all kinds, the military forces, open enemies, the police, and all the people that service the country. Also, the public health and trade partners. So that could be very important. Trade partners and the working class in a country. And as I said, Venus in the second indicates something that is related to the Treasury Department, to the assets or the economy of the country. So Mars is also applying to the north node of the country, and the north node, in the ninth house is always the country has been always focusing on the in other countries, going abroad in Leo with their authority or authoritarian. So Mars is stationary, it will be stationary retrograde on top of the North Node. So this may indicate some aggression on the part of the country to other countries, maybe. So, and at the same time, if you remember the South transiting South node on the midheaven, and for the transit, the midheaven of the transit is on the South node of the country. So something is here doubly indicating some exit from the main authority. So Mars will be stationary retrograde on top of the north node of the country on December the 6th, 2024. So all those signs are indicating problems. The sixth house is always the house of imbalances, the problems that need to be fixed. And the transit chart has the ascendant there, as you see here. And having the sixth house brought to the ascendant, it means that it takes relevance, it takes priority, it takes, and it's an angular, it comes to an an angle. So in that case, this full moon will be the most important matter that the country needs to pay attention to. Okay, so I clarify this is not a political statement. This is not taking sides of any kind. This is just an astrological analysis of this full moon, November the 15th, 2024. And it depends on which house you have this full moon falling on your chart. You can always order your astrological personal report with me to have a better understanding of how this energy will affect you. Definitely, you will have a surprise, something that you did not expect, something that you cannot forecast, but something that has been brewing from the new moon. So maybe you have been observing the changes throughout this half cycle, and you may have a hint of what possibility, what could be possible, right? If it is your ninth house, for example, it could be that you have a surprise travel plan or a surprise trip that you need to take, or all of a sudden you decide to go and study astrology, or you receive a notification from college, from the university, that you have been accepted, or you receive a scholarship, or you are not accepted, for example, things that are really a surprise and were not expected. Well, with this, I leave you because that's enough. And here you have my contact information in case you are interested in a personal report. But I also have an introductory to astrology course that you can find all the information on my blog, Satsang at Astrology, blogspot.com. You have there a place where it says how I work and what I offer. You click on that and you will find all my reports that I offer, but also the courses that are available for you to study with me. Thank you so much for following my channel and supporting me in so many ways. And I say goodbye until next time.